Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Let's get started. On August 15, 1977, a big air radio telescope in Delaware, Ohio, received the most powerful signal it would ever detect during a decade of observation. A big air telescope to receive a pointer signal may come from the Sun-like star 1800 light-years away in a constellation Sagittarius. The signal lasts just 72 seconds, but when an astronomer spotted it on a computer printout day later, he was so impressed that he quickly scrolled "wow" in a red pen across the page. The data looked much like what the SETI astronomer expected to see from an alien intelligence. However, despite many attempts to follow up on their find, the so-called "wow" signal has never reappeared. The few moments in the research for the extraterrestrial intelligence SETI have captivated the public imagination quite like a wow signal. To some, it's the most promising potential detection of an alien life ever. Later in summer of 1977, Jerry Eman sat down to receive the last batch of computer printout detailing data collected by the Big Air Radio Observatory, where he was volunteering as an astronomer. The observatory was controlled remotely and it could collect several days' worth of data before the computer ran out the storage space. At the point, a technician would show up a reset thing and start the next observing run focusing on the new patch of sky. The Big Radio Observatory was well known among the astronomers in its day. The telescope was designed by the pioneer Ohio State University astronomer John Caros, and it was largely built by the university staff, voluntary and part-time labor in 1960s. Originally, it was constructed with the fund of National Science Foundation Fund to carry out the dedicated task of creating the most accurate radio map sky ever. But the Big Air did not look like a other radio telescope. It looked like some cover a football field in a white paint and install a bleacher at either end behind the goalpost. These bleachers were actually fed a honor to fuel the radio signal from the telescope laser reflector to its receiver. However, after the Big Air completed the mapping in the sky in 1972, the Eman reviewed the large printout of data every few days was a routine part of being voluntary. And on August 17, 1977, as he looked through the latest stack of a paper, he spotted a set of the number letters 6EQUJ5. To untrained eye, it looked like a nonsense, but to Eman, the data meant the Big Air has picked up the very strong signal that started out a low increase in strength and drop off the again. That means the signal was likely picked up as one particular region of sky passed over the detector. It wasn't the earthly. The signal only appeared in one of the 50 possible channels. It was a narrow band signal, just what we were looking for with a SETI. The Eman said, "It doesn't take long for me to recognize that this was extremely interesting, and the word wow came to my mind very quickly, so I wrote it down." But as he poured through data from the flowing date, he was surprised to find the single signal did not reappear. He introduced only deepened after meeting with the observatory director and staff. Together they reached the sky for any possible object in that region of the sky that could explain the signal. The astronomers checked everything from the comet, planet to satellite and more. Nothing matched up. The team kept Big Air Observatory the same setting spot for a month, yet they found nothing. And a year later when they tried again, they still came off empty-handed. The SETI project at a big air ultimately lasts for 24 years, making it longest running continuous SETI research in history. But during that time, the investigator never picked up anything else quite like a wow signal. From MN part, he also maintained that we may never know exactly what he discovered that day. No conclusion was ever possible other than it certainly had the potential to bring a signal from extraterrestrial intelligence, the MN said. Still, there is a lot of theory and hypotheses are made in the wow signal, but this mystery was unsolved. Maybe it will solve in near future and we learn about the alien civilization soon. Thank you guys. See you on the next one.